Good evening. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're going to see tonight why we're such a great town as we honor police officers for outstanding work, certain ones for life-saving, others for a terrific job working with our community. And I'd like to read a proclamation, the details of the life-saving case. On Sunday, April 14th, 2024 at 2:50 a.m., police units were dispatched to 48 West Pond Road in the Hope Lawn section of Woodbridge Township on a report of a domestic violence dispute involving one person being stabbed. Police officers Andrew Lissick, who's got 18 years with the force, and George Awad, who's got 2, arrived on location first and quickly ascertained that the dispute involved an adult male and adult female who have a child in common. The officers located the adult male outside of the building and an adult female who remained inside the building in their apartment. Police officers Jacob Benenti, who's got 4 years, and Dipin Nai, who's got 1, arrived moments later and found that the female possessed a knife and had a laceration to her hand. It was determined that she was the aggressor and she was placed in handcuffs. The male was observed to have a severe injury to his right leg as his pants were blood-soaked and he was standing in a pool of blood. The officers guided the patient to the ground and could see a large puncture wound on his inner thigh that had pierced his femoral artery. The officers immediately applied a tourniquet to control the bleeding, which only slowed the bleeding. Officers then applied a second tourniquet, which completely stopped the bleeding, at which time the patient was transported to the hospital. These police officers are hereby recognized for a job well done. Upon arriving, they secured the scene and identified the aggressor, who was placed under arrest. Officers identified the severity of the stab wound and provided life-saving measures to the male. Copies of these letters are to become part of their personnel's files. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Lissick, Dipin Nai, Jacob Menente, and George Awad, please come up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Andrew, congratulations. George?
Thank you. Thank you.
And,
Yes, thank you.
all right, you always ask this question. The answer is frequently no. Yeah, they're not listening yet. Lissick, you're the senior member of the group. You want to say a few words?
Thank you. As just doing our job, so we don't need this, but appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Anybody else want to say a few words? Jake, George? Oh, come on up, man. You're the rookie. They should say he's the rookie. He's got 1 year. He's the guy that should come up. You want to say anything, Niven? You want to say anything?
Oh, no, I'm good.
All right. How about any one of you girls want to come up and talk about your dad? Who wants to come up? Come on up. Come on up. Here, you hold this. Come here. Stand right by me. Don't be afraid. How about you all come together? All come together. All right. You stand right here. Look over there. And stand over here a little more. Get right in front of the camera. You got 15 minutes of fame here.
My dad is weird. My daddy is kind of the best.
Why are you here? What did Daddy do?
Save someone's life.
Save someone's life. Isn't that pretty good? You feel very proud? And I said before, I've known your daddy, your mom for a long, long time, and I know your grandma and grandpa for probably 30 years. They live in Colonia, so do I. I used to be their accountant, and they did my kitchen in my house. So they never paid for taxes, and I never paid for my kitchen. It was a good deal, right? Except the kitchen was worth a lot more than a couple tax returns. And I'm only kidding about that if anybody's watching from the IRS. All right, you're good? All right, thank you very much. Let's take some pictures, you guys. Okay, so for the last many years, we have had a program to honor the police officers of every quarter, and then we select an officer of the year. So we're here tonight to honor the police officer of the first quarter, January 1 through March 31st, 2024, and that is Police Officer Sue Ellen Gerena of the Woodbridge PD Squad 3. Officer Gerena, congratulations. This is a little bit of a long one, so Officer Simone Gerena, having achieved all the criteria set forth by the Woodbridge Police Department, is hereby awarded Police Officer of the First Quarter for 2024. Officer Gerena has distinguished herself as a role model for the department by her commitment to excellence and her enthusiasm to protect and serve the residents of Woodbridge Township. Officer Gerena strives to better herself and the image of the police department and establishes positive relationships when coming in contact with the public. Officer Simone Gerena, who is assigned to the Radio Patrol Division, besides taking on her daily patrol duties, has volunteered to work with the Community Affairs Unit, furthering the Community Outreach Program. This program was developed to have officers provide businesses with safety and security measures in order to prevent and deter crime. Officer Gerena has also been selected and assigned to the Arrive Together program. The Arrive program has mental health experts riding with police officers who have received crisis intervention training. The goal of the program is to assist individuals experiencing a mental health crisis, obtain access to care and treatment, and to reduce the risk of violent behavior during interactions. During the first quarter of 24, Officer Gerena responded to numerous psychiatric calls, which resulted in individuals both being voluntarily and involuntarily committed to the hospital for evaluation. During January, Officer Gerena and the mental health expert responded to the call of a female who was experiencing a mental health crisis. The woman was an obvious crisis, and the mental health expert determined that she needed to be transported to the hospital for evaluation. The woman became uncooperative and more paranoid. The woman wanted the officers to leave and stated that she was too busy to go to the hospital. The woman then attempted to enter her vehicle and leave, at which point Officer Gerena and other officers were able to stop the woman and place her on a stretcher for transportation. Officer Gerena treated the woman with dignity and patience and assured the woman received the appropriate mental health treatment. During early February of 24, Officer Gerena and the mental health expert responded to a call of another woman who was in crisis. Officer Gerena knew from previous calls at this address that the woman had been violent in the past, attacking both her husband and responding officers. Officer Gerena, using this knowledge, made sure that both she and the mental health expert were prepared in the event that the situation became violent. Once in presence of the woman, it was determined she would need to be involuntarily committed. The woman was initially uncooperative, but after a lengthy conversation with Officer Gerena, who used her training and calm demeanor, she convinced the woman to walk to the ambulance and be transported without further incident. Arrive is something that we're one of the only towns in the county to do, right? We're one of the first ones to do. And it is what it said. We get mental health experts that can go to a situation with the police officer. Sometimes people are afraid of police officers. Sometimes they're afraid of other people. It's a very tense situation. And Officer Gerena has embraced this program and become an expert in it. And all you have to do is read the papers to see that this is a service that's so desperately needed in society today, because there's always interactions with people with mental health issues and law enforcement. And she's become an expert in Woodbridge. And I want to thank you for the great job that you do, and you deserve to be the Officer of the Quarter. And you might not want to speak, but you got to say something about this program. You got to talk about it.
Well, first off, I wanted to say thank you. It is an honor being up here and receiving this award. The program started about a year ago. We implemented it, it was just 1 day a week, and now we're up to 2 days a week, where we basically just drive around with a mental health expert. I don't wear this full uniform. I'm actually just in a plain polo, just a duty belt. And then we walk in, other officers make this the safe scene, and then I'll walk in with the mental health expert, and then we just basically sit down and speak with them. At the very minimum, we at least try to offer them resources so that if they do come upon another episode or things like that, they have the resources where they can actually call someone and just reach out, you know, instead of going through a whole episode or waiting for that full episode to happen. They can reach out to a therapist and things like that.
So it's a lot like our peer recovery coach program, except they jump in after an incident and help the person. You're trying to help them before it gets to an incident.
A lot of times we get there when there is an incident, but a lot of times if it's not severe, we do offer them resources. We give them handouts, numbers to call, and people to reach out to before it gets extreme. You know, but if it's an extreme case, we do take them to the hospital.
How many people have the training you have in RPD?
There's just a handful, about 10.
About 10 do?
About 10 on both sides. If you go,
It's continuing.
it's continuing.
You continue to send.
All right.
As the program gets bigger, or they're adding more towns, and hopefully we'll get more days, and we can actually offer this resource to residents on a daily basis.
Wow. Very good.
All right.
Congratulations. Get back to. I'd like to ask Police Director Hubner if he'd like to say a few words about both the life-saving officers and the officer of the quarter.
Absolutely. First, I want to thank the mayor. As usual, he recognizes the outstanding work our officers do. To the gentleman who did the life-saving, we do these proclamations every so often, and 9 out of 10 times, the officers that are being honored are for life-saving. We put a high value on preparing our officers to respond to these types of calls, and it really works because countless lives are saved because of the actions of the officers who always, I shouldn't say always, but more than not, beat the first aid to these calls. So they take action, and by the time the first aid's there, usually everything's under control, so outstanding job. To Sue Ellen, you know, a lot of times, officer of the quarter, they get the award because they've stopped crimes of progress or things of that nature, but the program that she's involved with and her volunteering with community affairs is equally important, so congratulations to her.
I did not, I failed to introduce the council before we started, so I'll do it now. First of all, we have Deputy Director Joe Niski of the Police Department. To his right is Kyle Anderson, current council president and councilman at large. To his right, Corey Spiller, 3rd Ward Councilman, Avenel and Port Reading. To his right, Sharon McAuliffe, 1st Ward Councilwoman for Woodbridge and Seawarren. To her right, 5th Ward Councilwoman Debbie Meehan, who covers Colonia. To her right, at-large Councilwoman Lizbeth DeJesus. To her right, Councilman at large Greg Ficara. And to his right, Howie Bauer, 2nd Ward Councilman covering Hope Lawn, Fords, and Caseby. And I'll ask anybody, starting with the council president, if anybody would want to say a few words about our hero officers and about our other hero officer of the quarter. Anybody want to say anything?
First of all, I want to echo the comments of Director Hubner and thanking the mayor and the council for recognizing our first line officers that come out to a lot of calls where you don't know the situation. The word that I heard over and over was training, and you can't get that training without support from the council, the mayor, and we're just glad to see that training is paying off. Every year, you know, we add more and more police officers. Our police officers are getting younger. You know, this young man here, I've known him for a very young, when he was a very young man, and played ball in my program, and I've known his family for a very long time. But just to see now that they're a part of protecting us while we're sleeping and protecting the people that they come up on a situation that they don't know the scenario. The life-saving effort, Sue Ellen, congratulations. And thank you very much, because as far as coming up on a mental health situation, you never know what you're walking into. And like you said, you're not in this attire. You're in a polo, and you're walking up, and you don't know what that person's capable of. But it's your training that is paying off, and it's really helping our community remain safe. And we're also, you know, situations that could go a different way are actually ending positively, like having the woman walk herself to the ambulance voluntarily. So thank you very much, and I know the community thanks you.
Anybody else? Good. Elizabeth, come on up.
I just want to say that in the world that we live in, sometimes being a police officer or first responder can be a thankless job, but we want you to know that we do appreciate the job that each and every one of you do. I think it's safe to say that Woodbridge, with the support of the administration, the mayor, council, Deputy Director Niski, and Director Hubner, they always make sure that our police officers have the training that they need to meet the needs of our community. So in behalf of Woodbridge Township, I want to thank each and every one of you for the job that you do, the training that you partake in. We really appreciate everything that you do. And just to have Woodbridge mind at ease, we do have men and women that really care about our community, and as shown here, have the training that is needed to meet whatever arises in Woodbridge Township. Thank you.
And just a quick piece of information, we do have 7 officers coming out of the academy in 2 weeks, to be June 7th, to become Woodbridge police officers, and we actually have a class of 10 for the next academy. Usually to get 10, we have to go through 40 or so. We never wind up with 10, but we actually have 10 for the first time in how long? 4 or 5 years since we've been able to identify 10 candidates and get them into the academy. So as Kyle and Lizbeth said, our force keeps growing and it keeps getting better. And I say it all the time that this is the best police department in the state of New Jersey, and these men and women go out and prove it every single day. So thank you all very much.
Would all rise for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would remain standing for those who lost their lives in defending our country. We are approaching Memorial Day.
Notice requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger published a notice on October 6, 2023. Copy was scheduled, was posted on the municipal bulletin board, and it should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Bauer. Here. Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilman Ficarra. Here. Councilwoman McCullough.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Vice President Spiller.
Here.
And President Anderson.
Here.
Can I get a motion that the minutes from May 7, 2024 be approved?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we're going to start with letter A, which is a bond ordinance in the amount of $2.5 million to pay for costs related to the IT and the sewer utilities. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only.
Good evening, Tom Maris, Fords, New Jersey. It's nice to be back here again, and I echo the words of Council President. As we remember, those who are serving and those who have served, they make the ultimate sacrifice, they put their lives on the line, and along with our first responders, be it police, fire, or otherwise, they deserve our full support. God bless them all. As far as A is concerned, is that going to be on competitive bid basis?
I'm sorry, is that going to be a competitive?
Will it be issued, when you go out for it, the acquisition of the computer system, will it be on a competitive bid basis?
It should be.
Yes, if not, it's either state contract purchases of equipment that the state's already done the bidding and we take advantage of that, or if not, we will bid it. We are required by law to bid everything one way or another.
Knowing something about the state, I can't always say they got the lowest prices, nor the best service out of what they do get. What would inspire you, the township, to say, we'll look at the state, but we'll still go out for competitive bids, if anything?
This is a special category that I'm not an expert in,
Okay.
information technology, but we have people that know what they're doing. This is phone systems, and this is a desktop computers, so they know what's good and they know what's bad, and they can generally make a judgment as to the price that we're getting either from the state or from a vendor. So I trust that they will make the best decision for the town.
It just happens to be an area that I've got a little bit more than a little experience in, but I appreciate your candor. Thank you, sir.
Any other comments from the public on letter A? There are no other comments from the public on letter A. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll take letter B, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 7 entitled Traffic of the Township of Woodbridge with regards to designation of handicap parking on Camelot Drive and William Street. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter C is an ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge adopting the Woodbridge Area 6 redevelopment plan. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Yes, I'd like to abstain from this, please.
So noted. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter C only.
John Wetari, Woodbridge. Under letter C, Woodbridge Area 6 redevelopment plan, what part of Main Street, I mean, the downtown Woodbridge is, what part of Woodbridge this is?
So this is an area, Mr. Vitaric, over by Il Costello's William Street, I believe. William Street is the street that is perpendicular to New and Main. It connects the two. There are two homes, and those two homes are property of Il Costello, and they are going to use that is their property to create additional parking space.
Okay. There was a talk in town that's supposed to put 2 houses over there, so thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments on letter C?
Tom Maris, New Jersey, just as a follow-up to what the council president just said. So they're going to take down 2 homes, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
All right.
Yes.
They actually already have.
I already have.
It's in process now, I should say.
So what has happened to the tax rate on that property since it's being switched from residential or commercial, whichever it may have been? Somebody was paying tax on it. How will they pay tax on that, and do they get a tax abatement on that modification?
Don't know how the tax change, I'm sure it would have to go before the zoning board if there is a change from residential to commercial.
They'll still pay land taxes.
Yeah.
But we will lose the value of the 2 homes. But with 30,000 homes, it's not really anything we're worried about.
Do they get a tax abatement?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on letter C? Hearing no other questions, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letters D, E, F, G, H, I, and J are all first reading ordinances. Can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on Friday, May 24th, 2024, with notice of public hearing to be held on June 11, 2024 at 6 p.m.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. President, you have before you 26 resolutions. Can I get a motion to approve all 26 by consent?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mitch, I just want to thank the mayor, administration, and engineering for resolution number 18, the grant application, applying a grant for funding for Avenel Street paving from Rawway Avenue all the way down to St. George Avenue. Last time Avenel Street between Rawway Avenue and Route 1 was paved was 2013. It wasn't done by the township. It was a construction project. If it was done by the township, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get that money and get that done. So thank you very much.
Any other comments?
Mr. Mitch, I'm going to abstain from item number 11.
Mr. Mitch, I'm going to abstain from item number 11.
Any other comments?
Mr. Mitch, I'm going to abstain from number 11.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, we will now go into our public comments portion of tonight's meeting. When approaching the microphone, please state your name and what section of the township or state that you live in. You will have a one-time opportunity to speak up to 5 minutes. All videotaping must be performed on the other side of the blue ribbon in the designated area. Please be respectful of one another, and please make sure that there are no signs or posters in the aisles or walkway, and I will try to advise you when there's a 1 minute remaining time.
Any comments from the public this evening?
Hello again, Tom Maris. Starting to feel like I've never left. A couple of things real quick if I can. I'd certainly like to give congratulations to our councilwoman on the opening of her new store on Main Street. It's always nice to see new businesses coming in. It's a boom to the town. Unfortunately, there was something that went on with the robbery, but that should not be a reflection, as far as I'm concerned, on the efforts of our police department. I think we're one of the safest communities around, and very much because of this administration and our police force. If I thought otherwise, I'd certainly say so. I'd like to speak about Caseby for a minute. We had all heard if the power plant went in, we were going to get all this revenue, that the power plant was cleaning up the site, there'd be trails over there, and yet, as far as I know, the trails have not been open, the park has not been open, and we keep hearing, well, we're waiting on whatever government bureaucracy, EPA, whomever. Are we pushing them? Because I know when I pushed them on a dog park several years ago, they responded pretty damn quickly. And I'm not going to get into the weeds on that, but I'm wondering, why is it taking this long? What are we doing to get that up to the community? I think it's well needed, well deserved, and I think it'll be a boom to the area if we get that going. So if you would, please elaborate on where we stand with that.
Council President, I can handle that. We are pushing it. It's obviously out of our hands. It's not only the state, but it's the federal EPA, which makes the pushing even harder. The dog park was basically DEP, which we have a good relationship with and which we communicate with regularly. In fact, we're meeting the commissioner tomorrow on a couple of things. But this involves the EPA. The amount of paperwork that had to get filed related to that park is feet high. It's literally feet high. And it all has to be reviewed by the bureaucracy in Washington and also to an extent by the DEP in Trenton. There's not much we can do. We try to push, but and we're as anxious as anybody for it to open. It's beautiful down there. It's an absolutely stunning park. Everything you said, trails and wildlife and bird blinds and canoeing and access to the river, it's just wonderful. And we're as frustrated as anybody, but we are trying everything we can do to keep it moving.
Thank you. Thank the mayor for that explanation. It's good to know and glad to hear that we are, following up with due diligence to see if we can make that happen even faster. The same may be said of Seawarn and the development that's going on over there. I think that's going to be a real plus for the township. Bring in a lot more people, a lot more recreational facilities, which we desperately need to keep people occupied and something safe to be able to do. One last thing, because I don't want to run out of time. As we know, our elected, I'll be kind, our elected officials down in Trenton recently adopted new changes to the OPRA, and I'd like the council and/or Mr. Mitch to speak about those changes. How is it going to affect? Will it work as well as it did before? What are we giving up? What are they adding? If you can just comment on that within my remaining time. Thank you.
Sure, I'm aware of some of those changes, but I will, Mr. Mitch, I will defer to you on this one if you have any opinion, since you're our expert in this area.
I think it's just a little premature to offer that opinion for the reason I don't know the final bill, version of the final bill that went to the governor's desk. So I don't know. I saw pieces prior to it, and I personally supported some of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping it makes it better. It has been a long time. There were changes needed. I'm hoping it makes it better for everyone involved. I don't see it being restrictive to anybody, which I've read in the newspapers that are claiming it will be, but I don't see how that's possible. It's my opinion.
Well, you've been absolutely, all the years that I've worked with you on OPRA requests, straightforward, very honest. So I'm sure I can reach out to you and talk about it once the bill gets passed, finalized, and we can go from there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
John Tariq Woodbridge again. I want to go back to the mayor was bringing all the EPA stuff in the KSB Park over there. I think personally, I don't blame him or anybody else. But we're a big town over here. This is, I believe, beautiful location. But again, I think the EPA should take into consideration We are not kind of chop meat at the drinking Woodbridge over here. That they should give us some kind of results from it, do or don't. I mean, but don't just hang on. This is already second year, and I think should be maybe get to the newspaper, somebody else. But you gotta get something out of it because you can't have a summaries over here. People want to come out, and I believe it. If it's clean, I believe it's clean. Should be clean. It'll be success for not just the Woodbridge, but metropolitan area. And I believe the only question is this a county park or is municipal park? That's mayor would answer that. But again, if anybody can do it, put some kind of pressure on them, come on, put us on the front burner. Don't wait until another year, because we know how they work, and it's not going to do us any.
Council President, this is a county park. I'm sorry, it's our park, not a county park. And the thought that Mr. Vitarik wants us to mount a public relations campaign against the DEP, who we need for dozens of other projects, and the EPA, who we need for dozens of other projects, I can tell you right now, we won't be doing that. We will be patient. We're anxious, but we're patient, and we're not going to go bite the hand that feeds us and go after the DEP and go after the EPA. That's one of the most unbelievably ridiculous things he said since he's been coming here. And then he said there's a lot of competition for that title of the craziest statement he's ever made.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Mayor. We agree with you.
Well, that doesn't sound like it's a good bill of health over there. But again, there's another thing that people kind of are wondering. Safety of the town, a lot of crime, stolen cars, break-ins, all this other stuff. And number one complaint is how come it makes the newspapers? They are feeling that people don't get the news because they read the news. What's discouraging, they want to do something about it. I believe it's happening in town already, but they want to start some kind of a, which I'm afraid myself, organization. They take the protection themselves, protect the town, protect the area, general areas. Because everybody's got cameras that they watch what's happening in the house. Like 24/7, there's a robbery, attempt robbery, things like that in town. And if people are probably more aware of it, that we know what's going on every day by day, they're probably more cautious to close the cars, close the doors, whatever it is. But again, people are concerned. And what really is concerned is the apartments, because they think those people, they're supposed to be, I believe they're good people, but they always blame, well, newcomers. We all know they have businesses. How many new faces come to our businesses because of the people come to this town, which is great. But again, if you can do something more to make people aware of it, and again, please, we do have a good police department, but they can do everything. So if you tell people, probably be careful, do all those things that you should do. Don't take for granted, because it's not the same town that used to be 20, 30 years ago. So that's my concern. Thank you.
So you're blaming problems in the town on the people that live in these apartments. That's another ridiculous statement. I don't think you have any evidence or any basis to possibly make a statement that the people who pay $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month to live in the downtown luxury apartments have anything to do with what you described. But I'll let Police Officer Hubner. And by the way, let me say, if people have problems, they should call us, not you. Tell them, call us. When somebody says, this is something I need to have from the town, tell them to call the mayor's office. Tell them to call their council person. We will help them. Going to you is fruitless, absolutely fruitless. It's going to get them nowhere. You don't have any way of getting anything done for them. We do. They should call us. But I'll let Director Hubner answer the rest of that.
From what I got from that, crime isn't just here in Woodbridge Township, it's statewide. And I think what he's referring to is some of these auto thefts and burglaries into homes to get key fobs to steal high-end cars. That's a statewide problem. We're addressing it. And to say that a lot of these offenders are from apartments is just ridiculous, because without going too much into investigations, we've identified most of the offenders from the Essex County area. They're not local, they don't live here. And as far as failing to report crime, the newspaper inquires. When they inquire, we respond and give them the information.
And I will say this, thank you very much, Director and Mayor. I will also say this, our free newspaper in Woodbridge Township is the Corner, and Director Hubner has his own column there where he does inform the public about the ongoings of protecting, being vigilant, and watchful of the crimes in Woodbridge Township. So we're using that because everyone in the town gets that newspaper. Not everybody gets the Home News Tribune anymore because there's very few people that are getting the delivery paper, and they're not really going and purchasing the paper like we used to. But the free newspaper, if you're getting it, you'll see articles in there that Director Hubner has written specifically to the crimes and ways that we can protect ourselves and ways that the police department is trying to be more proactive in preventing these crimes. So I thank the police department. I thank you, Director Hubner, for the communication and your continued good work.
Council President, I'm sorry. Council President, Mr. Vitar brought up about papers. I know I am the only person on my block that still gets a newspaper. I believe, Mr. Mitch, you're probably the only one on your block that still gets a newspaper. It's all this. It's all social media. And whether it's Ring, Facebook, TikTok, Chalk, whatever you want to call it, Snap, this, that. The Woodbridge Police Department social media platform has been extraordinary at what has been going on, be on the lookout, what can you do to prevent proactiveness opposed to reactiveness in some other municipalities. So this is where it's at, and I just want to commend the director and and the township with your social media team on getting that information out there to the residents of what you can look for and what to do to be proactive. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening? Hearing no other comment, can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, we'll go into our agenda portion of the meeting, and I will begin with there are ongoing registrations for both Pop Warner programs in town, the Woodbridge Golden Saints and the Woodbridge Broncos. We also go down to our job bank. We're presently looking for crossing guards, substitute teachers. If you go to our Employment Opportunity Center, you'll see many companies that are looking for Woodbridge Township residents. I do want to acknowledge this past weekend was probably one of the more fun weekends in Woodbridge Township for the kids that are part of our public school system, and that's the Ernest Dubé track meet, which is held for the elementary school students. Extremely exciting day. I know I have a lot of fond memories of it, and I know some of the people here on the dais have been there with either their kids or may have participated as well themselves. I want to thank all the volunteers, the teachers, and especially the phys ed teachers that took part in organizing a very memorable day for all of our students. For the students that graduated, I had the pleasure of participating in the Middlesex College graduation last week, and I saw a number of students that graduated from our Woodbridge Township schools that were there, and several of them, including Councilwoman McAuliffe's son, who was graced with highest honors. And congratulations to your son Kyle on his achievement. And the valedictorian gave a resounding speech. And one of the things that I really like about this is a story that students don't realize, that you can start off at a school like Middlesex College and your next step can be to the Ivy Leagues. This is the second year in a row that Middlesex has sent their valedictorian to Columbia University, and there was also a Princeton University student who will be transferring as an associate's degree holder from Middlesex College onto Princeton University. So congratulations to Dr. McCormick, the president there, and all the graduates. It was a wonderful event, and it was held at Rutgers University, so that was outstanding. We'll also be having the Juneteenth event on June 15th behind Woodbridge High School. We're going to have some bicycles that are going to be given away by a few local organizations. We'll have a local choir that will be performing, and also have a few cheer teams that are going to be performing, and also Epic Soul, which is a great great R&B group that will be performing, and also DJ Rant to keep the group going, keep the event going. There'll be plenty of food, fun. Hopefully, we'll just have the great weather to make it a fourth year in a row great event. And for all of those that we've mentioned earlier that have given up their lives for our freedom here in this country, we'd like to remember them on Memorial Day as we celebrate, and also take into consideration those who are protecting us overseas. Thank you very much. That's all I have. I'll move on to Vice President.
Thank you, Council President Anderson. Item number 5, Avondale Middle School Community Service Club. I'd just like to acknowledge and thank all the students of the Community Service Club as they had their annual day of giving last week. Through collections and hard work over the school year, they made financial donations to Meals on Wheels, the Woodbridge Township Domestic Violence Response Team, Woodbridge Buddy Ball, Woodbridge Animal Shelter, and Be Change New Jersey. It's an honor to be their liaison, and an incredible job by the students and advisors. The rest of my agenda is in order, Council President. This Monday is Memorial Day. Just remember, this day isn't about being off and grilling hot dogs. Please remember all those who have served and made the ultimate sacrifice defending our country's freedom. While that, all of our local VFWs in Woodbridge Township will be having VFW memorial services. Avondale VFW will be Monday, Memorial Day, obviously, at 10 o'clock at 60 West Park Avenue in Avondale. Just want to say welcome back, Councilman Small. I'm glad to see the hoof is ending along. Welcome back. A pleasure. Thank you to all our emergency responders, fire, EMS, our Woodbridge Police Department, CERT, and all our public works and Woodbridge Township employees. God bless America. Thank you, Council President Anderson.
Thank you. Councilman Fiquet.
Thank you, Council President. Let me start off too by echoing everyone's thoughts here, thanking all our veterans, those who have served, those that are serving, and those that made the ultimate sacrifice. Starting off on my agenda, the Woodbridge Community Center, the best summary is the booklet that went out to all the homes around town with all the activities that are going. But to highlight a few, as the weather gets nice like today, the mini golf and batting cages are open in the back of the Woodbridge Community Center. That's a great venue back there. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at spring hours. On Father's Day, fathers can mini golf for free as long as they're with one of their children, and they pay for that. That's 12 to 9 on Sunday, Father's Day. Also at the Community Center on May the 30th, Megan Levy is a senior movie, and that's 12:30 to 2:30 over at the Community Center. So you can see at our Community Center, there's activities for all ages. Coming up with our youth committee, our youth services program, there's a kickoff to the summer barbecue at Acacia Youth Center for middle school students and current registered elementary school members, 3 to 6 p.m. on Monday, June the 3rd. Highland Grove Youth Center pool party for middle school students only at Highland Grove Pool and Spray Park, 3:30 to 6:30, Thursday, June 6th. And the Evergreen Youth Center pool party at Springwood Swim Club for middle school students only, 3:30 to 6:30 on Monday, May the 10th. And again, that's from our Youth Services Department. Coming up very soon will be the Farmers Market on Saturday, starting June 22nd, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Park of Brass. And also we have a number of summer concerts and series and shows starting on June 22nd, Alice in Wonderland with the Yates Family Theater, 10 to 11, and that's at the Acacia Youth Center. And then the next one would be the 29th, Michael Roseman Variety Performance, 10 to 11 a.m. at the Woodbridge High School field. Mayor McCormick's Woodbridge Community Charity Fund Mini Golf Gala is on June the 17th, 5 to 8 p.m. You can check in Town Hall to pick up tickets for that. That's all I have, Council President. Thank you. Oh, one other thing. Just congratulations to Mr. Mitch, our own Mr. Mitch, at his state conference down in Atlantic City. He was honored as, I believe, the Mentor of the Year, which is quite an honor for the whole state.
Mr. Mitchell.
That's it, that's enough.
He's been a mentor to a lot of us, right? Do I get to play around with each one of my kids, or do I have to bring all 5 of them and play one?
Good question. You might get off on a technicality there.
There we go.
I'll back you up.
All right. Councilman Bauer.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda's in order. I have a few announcements tonight. Excuse me. Ford's VFW Post 6090 Memorial Day services will be held on Monday, Memorial Day, which is May 27th at 11 a.m. at their monument located at King George Road at Coryell Street. Casby Fire Department Memorial Day service will be held on Monday, May 27th at 8 a.m. at their monument located at Smith Street and Newton Street in Casby. Many veteran organizations will be holding their services this holiday weekend. Come out and honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. God bless the departed. God bless our troops. God bless all our first responders, and God bless America. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Thank you, Council President.
Councilman Bauer. And welcome back, Councilman Small.
Welcome back, Councilman Small.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good to be back. I want to thank Councilwoman McCullough and Council Vice President Spiller for carrying my agenda for the last few months. I appreciate that. To all the messages and well wishes I received from my council mates, and of course Mr. Mitch, who sent me all my good mail and reached out once a week. Thanks a lot. On my agenda, Port Reading Fire and EMS Memorial Services is Monday, 5/27 at 9 a.m. I had the pleasure, along with the mayor and Councilman Spiller, of the ribbon cutting for Cypress 2, which is an incredible facility, which has 2 street hockey courts for Woodbridge PBA 38 Street Hockey League plays there, a beautiful park, and still Woodbridge Soccer participates, but it is an incredible park and job well done. Again, to all our veterans, thank you. We appreciate everything our veterans have done. And I just want to thank all our first responders, our town employees, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeJesus.
Thank you, Council President. I would just like to thank Director Molnar and Eileen Caggiano from the Woodbridge Community Center. Today we hosted here at the Municipal Building Youth and Government Days, and we have students from JFK, Woodbridge High School, Colonia, and St. Thomas Aquinas. Again, it's a great day for the youth in our township to learn how municipal government works. Item number 5, Police Community Relations. I would just like to congratulate all of the officers that were honored in our proclamations this evening. And I just have a couple of announcements. Our police department played the students and faculty at JFK High School on May 16th, and all their proceeds went to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. They just celebrated Police Week. Big thank you for supporting them. Special shout out to Walmart and Pinos for providing lunch dinner to officers. 4 of our offices represented Woodbridge Township riding in the annual Unity Tour down to Washington, D.C. 350 miles ride on bicycles, so we thank them for that. There's going to be an upcoming bicycle rodeo in June, and the date is to be determined, and that's hosted by Keep Middlesex Moving. Our community police officers were at the pull-up walk, which was held this past weekend at Woodbridge High School. They also participated in Schools 26, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And luckily they won. They still have a few spots open for the annual Junior Police Academy, which will be held in July, and you can apply for that on the website. And National Night Out will be Tuesday, August 6th at the Community Center. And this Tuesday, they will have the Senior Police Academy graduation. Also, St. Anthony's in Port Reading will be dedicating their 11 a.m. Mass on Sunday, June 2nd, to Detective Eric Ransom. The Mass is open to the public. That is all that I have for the police community. And item number 9, the Barron Arts Center is hosting People and Paintings Gallery on view June 8th through July 20th. The reception will be Friday, June 7th from 6 to 8. Again, it is on view from June 8th to July 20th, People and Paintings. You can call the Barron Arts Center at 732-634-0413 for more information. That is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order also. I just have one announcement. The Colonia VFW Post 6061 will be holding their Memorial Day service this Sunday on May 26th at noon with a barbecue to follow at their Grove. Tickets for the barbecue are $25 for adults, $20 for seniors, and children under 10 are free. The post is located across from the Inman Avenue Library. Also, the T. Notley Post, American Legion, will be holding their service Memorial Day at 11 a.m. at the post located in Islin. And just the thought, this Memorial Day, when you're enjoying time with your family and friends at barbecues and other fun activities, please take a moment to thank a veteran or attend one of the many services that we will be holding throughout the Memorial Day weekend, which can be found on the Township website that honors those veterans that never came home and gave their lives for our country so that we can have the freedoms we enjoy today. Thank you to all our veterans, past and present. We thank you for your service. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilman Patel.
Thank you, Councilor. My agenda is also in order, but I have a few announcements. I would like to announce the groundbreaking of a brand new 60,000 square feet healthcare facility by the Hackensack and Meridian Health and Wellness Center to be constructed in the vacant part of the parking lot at Metro Park Railroad Station in Islin. New Jersey State Governor Phil Murphy, Hackensack Meridian Health executives, along with state, county, and municipal officials, announced $200 million project that will create at least 1,000 new jobs and will provide convenient access to comprehensive health care to thousands of New Jersey, New York, and Northeast residents. This brand new Hackensack Meridian healthcare facility is going to be a part of the larger development of Metro Park Rail Station, designed to modernize transportation hubs throughout the state, making the multi-use locations for residential, office space, retail, and restaurants, allowing people to live, work, and play in one location. When this facility opens next year, the Hackensack Meridian Health and Wellness Center will offer more than 60,000 square feet of health care services, just steps from the mass transit hub. Services will include primary care, medical and surgical specialties, a sport and spine center of excellence, advanced imaging, phlebotomy, rehabilitation services, a retail pharmacy, occupational health services, and urgent care facility. We also welcome the following brand new businesses who have opened their doors in Islin and Menlo Park Terrace in the last few months. That includes Bye Bye Baby Store, which is located at 671 US Route 1 South in Islin. The Original Pancake House, located at 61 US Route 1 South in Menlo Park Terrace. Aspen Dental, located at 799 US Route 1 in Islin. Fast Bagels, located at 171 US Route 1 South in Menlo Park Terrace. UFC Gym, located at 675 Route 1 in Islin. Alpha Kitchen and Bath, located at 216 Worth Street in Islin. Vacation Zone, located at 218 Worth Street, Islin. DeVry University, located at 517 US Route 1 in Islin. A Smiley Face, located at 200 Middlesex Turnpike in Islin. Again, we welcome them all and wish them best wishes. Tomorrow, Wednesday, May 22nd, our Department of Health and Human Services Community Health Outreach Health Mobile Unit will take the Health Mobile to Oak Senior Center, located at 571 Lincoln Highway in Islin from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They welcome anyone who would like to come by for a free health screening. Health Mobile Manager and other staff members will provide many health-related services. That includes blood pressure, glucose testing, cholesterol testing, heart rate, blood oxygen, height, weight, health information, and health recipes. I wholeheartedly thank our Health and Human Services Director, Philip Dujaski, Health Mobile Manager, Kimberly Austa, and all staff members for their dedication and continued community services. Also, Oakley Senior Center will have their hats on at Oak luncheon tomorrow, that is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Anyone interested may pay by check payable to Woodbridge Township. Also, next Monday on May 27th, Islin VFW Post 2636 will hold their Memorial Day services at the Post Memorial located at Art Avenue in Eastleigh. The services will start at 11 a.m. Also, next Monday, May 27th, starting at 11 a.m., American Legion Post 71 will hold their Memorial Day services at the post's headquarters located at 23 Brown Avenue in Eastleigh. Also, on this Memorial Day, we remember those heroes who courageously gave their lives and made the ultimate sacrifices for our freedom. We thank them, their families, and those who continue to serve at home here and abroad. May God bless you all. May God bless America. That's all for tonight. Good night.
A lot going on in Island, right? Thank you. I remember that 471 memorial. Every morning it would wake me up, the 21 gun salute. That was my alarm clock on Memorial Day telling me to get up. Councilwoman McCullough.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I just have a few announcements. Get yourself prepared for our farmers market, which will be starting on June 22nd and will run through the end of August. The farmers market will be open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Parker Press Park, located at 400 Railway Avenue. The Relay for Life will be having their annual event being held June 1st at Woodbridge High School. To participate, donate, or obtain details, log on to relayforlife.org/Woodbridge NJ. I have several announcements for the Memorial Day services in Woodbridge and Seward. First, we'll start off at Monday, May 27th at 9 a.m. The United States Coast Guard Auxiliary will be holding their service in Seawarren at the Marina and Boat Ramp launch in front of Cliff Road Street in Seawarren. They will be laying wreaths in the water to honor the men and women who were lost at sea. Also at 9 a.m. on Monday, the 27th, the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 56 will conduct their service, the Salute to Soldiers and Sailors Monument, which is located at the Triangle at Main Street and Railway Avenue. They have a service that they'll be holding there also at 9 a.m. Then we can go for the VFW Post 4410, which will be holding their service at the American Legion Post headquarters located at 393 Pearl Street in Woodbridge. And lastly, the American Legion Post number 87 will host their Memorial Day service on Monday as well at 11 a.m. at the Post headquarters located at 314 Berry Street in Woodbridge. I'd like to thank all the men and women who have given their lives in the honor for this country. And please keep in mind all of our men and servicewomen who are now serving here and abroad. Keep them in our thoughts and prayers, and pray for them for a successful mission and a safe return home. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mitch.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank Council this evening for renewing 20 liquor licenses. I hope 23. I hope to have the remaining 72 within the next 2 meetings, barring no issues. Reminder, 2 weeks from today is primary election day. Sample ballots will be going out shortly. Drop mail boxes are already open at the Woodbridge Main Library and the Town Hall for people to vote by mail. Also remember, early voting starts May 31st through June 2nd at the Acacia Center, 95 to Reading Avenue. That's the last item. With one note, we will be going into executive session immediately following the legal agenda.
Thank you very much. Mr. Simuluka.
Thank you, Council President. I have a tax and sewer overpayments. I have 100% disabled veteran exemption, and I have a shared services agreement for animal control. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Director Hubner.
Thank you, Council President. I have a number of traffic ordinances. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Darden.
Thank you, Council President. Just our standard bi-weekly refund request. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President.
Motion to go into executive session. I'm sorry. Motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
Second.
They just point out, though, it's going to be approximately 20 minutes to discuss collective bargaining unit agreements in accordance with the state law. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. This time, I'd like to ask everyone to please leave the room if you're not permitted to stay. We're back into regular session. Mr. President, we have 3 resolutions that are before you this evening, numbers 28, 29, and 30. I'll point out specifically so everyone's aware. So 28 is with regards, it's all the same local, but Division of Streets and Sewers. 29 is with regards to Division of Parks, and 30 with the Division of Sanitation and Equipment Repair Supervisors. With that said, can I get a motion to approve 28, 29, and 30?
Motion.
Second?
Mr. Mitch,
Are there any questions or comments?
I'm going to abstain from Resolution 29.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, we've got a motion to close the meeting.
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.